And guess what time it is once again, ladies and gentlemen? It is another Victory Sunday here. Steelers still continuing to press right now, going to 11 and 0 right now to start the season, believe it or not, right now. The good news and the bad news is so far, right now, the Steelers, which I thought would have had a chance to wrap up the division on Thanksgiving, I overlooked one little thing that they still needed the Browns to lose today, too, who they were playing the Philadelphia Eagles in Cleveland. So the bottom line is, despite the Ravens losing to the Titans today, uh, the Browns move into second place in the AFC North right now at 7-3. So the Steelers hold a three-game lead over the Browns in the AFC North. Remember, they beat them already in the first half of their head-to-head matchup, so they'll need a combined magic number of four uh, games of either Steelers wins or Browns losses. So the division, maybe they could clinch it as early, like within week 13 it'll look like at this point. Probably against the Washington football team, somewhere between the Buffalo Bills or the Bengals game at the latest, is what we're projecting right now. But that's where we stand right now with this. Steelers put on a dominating fashion against a trap game that a lot of people were holding their breath on, as everyone is aware of. When it comes to Mike Tomlin dealing with playing low down to opponents right there, which has always been the criticism of his coaching career. But at the same time, too, when you really look at what they're able to do and just flex their muscle here, I mean, this contest here, I got to just tell you right now, they played a very physical game. It took a while for the offense to warm up, but they're methodical. Kind of remind me in some ways of the Bengals game a week ago, but they were able to manage to just impose their will. They only had like the first drive, I mean, literally, of the Jaguars right there, which had led it to 3 points. And so that was basically about it. And really what the Steelers were able to do in this game, in this contest here. I mean, at the end of the day, when you really think about it too, I mean, this is a team right now. I mean, Mike Tomlin sent the right message that they're going into a game where they feel like that the Jaguars are going to want to unload on them. I mean, basically. And I think that was just the right attitude. Uh, just Tom was just calm, cool, and collectively taking it one game at a time. They're being appreciative of the moment, acknowledging where they're starting off in their history, but at the same time, too, I mean, appreciate it and then just get ready to move on. So now we got a key matchup this Thursday night. Get ready for the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to be playing some desperate football right now since losing to the Steelers back on November 1st. I mean, when you really look at it, that was back in week number 8. Uh, I mean, since then, I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, at that time, have been 1-3. I mean, they lost to the Steelers, then they were able to beat the Colts, and then they were able to lose to the Patriots and now the Titans. I mean, some real a complete breakdown right here. I mean, when you look at this team from like a year ago, I gotta really start to think right now. When you look at a guy, I mean, like Lamar Jackson with this team here, I mean, what they've been able to do with Jim Harbaugh, and granted, at the end of the day, too, I mean, when you look at everything they've been trying to do, I mean, I remember him saying last offseason, he's finally found a way to revolutionize changing the quarterback position here. And I'm not so sure about that when I really look at it. I mean, if that's still really the case going on here. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens right now are a hot mess, to say the least. And if the playoffs were to begin right now, they'd be on the outside looking in right now. They're currently behind the Miami Dolphins and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders, they just actually just lost right now. For many of those of you who tuned in to something like football on NBC, they were able to lose that game to the Kansas City Chiefs. So they go to 4-3 in the AFC conference. The Dolphins are 3-3 in the AFC, and the Ravens are 4-4, each with 6-4 records. The Raiders just having to hold the edge in that tiebreaker. Even if they were to expand the playoffs by one more team, it will be the Dolphins, not the Ravens right now for the moment. But there's still plenty of time. You gotta believe this team right here is going to come out with a lot of aggression, wanna snap out of their funk. And I gotta tell you, they're gonna be playing with a chip on their shoulder on Thanksgiving. They're playing desperation football. Steelers have to be ready for that. I mean, if you ask me, and going into this game right there, and we'll find out what they're made of here. Because I gotta tell you, get ready for a heavyweight fight on Thanksgiving, the way we like it. But the division still has to be won at the end of the day. Period. They still gotta make sure they have that taken care of right now. I mean, at this point, and it's just a lot of stuff going into this contest right now. And here we go. I mean, the Titans, they did a very good job. I mean, chipping away at this Ravens ball club today. They were down as many by 11 points when this game 10-21. They were able somehow to manage to
out of the pistol. Jackson fakes the handoff to J.K. Dobbins.
and
Steps up.
overtime. This game was decided to be won with a Derrick Henry walk-off winning touchdown. There you have it for that contest, and that's how we look at it right now. The Ravens right now are looking for someone to hug right now and just try and figure out what happened. Back to the drawing board with this. I mean, you really got to start looking at this guy, Lamar Jackson. I think he's
on
a
third and
thrower.
10. Tannehill wants to throw quick release. This pass is complete to A.J. Brown. Slips out of a tackle at the 10. Brown still on his feet and carries into the end zone for a touchdown. Unbelievable.
I mean, he's usually 0-6
the Ravens had him cleanly at the 10-yard line.
But at the same time,
he slipped out of
when you
one
really
tackle,
think about what he's been able to do.
A group of Ravens surrounded him.
I mean, since coming into this league,
and Jeremy McNichols, a running back, just helped push him through the group all the way into the end zone.
I mean, personally, I'll probably still take Michael Vick over him. I mean, at this point, Michael Vick was just a lot more, I think, a better thrower. Yeah, a lot more of a faster throw. And I think Lamar Jackson still got a young career ahead of him. The only problem is I really start to wonder if, are they starting to put too many eggs in one basket with this guy? I mean, when you dissect it at the end of the day here, I mean, with this guy, is he really a guy that can really, truly lead this team? I don't know. I really start to wonder about what's been happening here and how we get this thing corrected. But I definitely want to hear from you. Feel free to follow me on social media. You can definitely follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Prodigy Richey for the Mass Steel Podcast on Twitter. It is at Mass Steel CGR and at Mass Steel Nation on Instagram. Where we check things out as we get ready to break things down a lot more here on this edition of the Mass Steel Podcast right now. Steelers take a commanding lead in this game. I mean, 27-3. I mean, here's one of the highlights throughout today's ball game that went on.
Wide side to his right, he gets the snap, throws it long down the near sideline. Chase Claypool with a diving grab for a touchdown for Claypool, the rookie out of Notre Dame. Ben with his 23rd of the year, Claypool with his 8th receiving, add 2 rushing touchdowns. He's got 10 touchdowns.
Wow, 10 touchdowns.
And there you had it right there. Chase Claypool, he was able to get it. That's where the Steelers were able to go up 10-3 at that point in the game right now. And Missi Matthews made a very interesting note about Chase Claypool. 10 touchdowns in 10 games for the rookie so far out of Notre Dame. He's the first wide receiver in the Super Bowl era and 4th in league history to have at least 10 touchdowns in his first 10 career games. Congratulations, young man, here on that honor right there. And then also a big happy birthday to Juju Smith-Schuster today in this day. I mean, he did not get any touchdowns. He only had 4 receptions for 19 yards. Deontay Johnson led the team with receiving yards with 12 grabs. and was targeted 16 times and was able to catch 12 of those. So very, very good day at the office right there. And that, you know what, the biggest thing too, I mean, we're all wondering about, a lot of fans were looking at going into this game. How much were we going to see as far as like improvement in the run game right there? You knew Mike Tomlin was definitely being nagged about that. I mean, definitely something he didn't want to pass up. But I mean, at this point in time, too, I mean, Mike Tomlin is no fool at this point. I mean, he realizes there's still a lot of things to go left to patch up on before they can really truly think themselves. I mean, as a now not only a top seed in the AFC, but a Super Bowl winning team. And we'll find out. We'll find out what this team's mental makeup is going into Thursday, how they're able in the coming weeks right now. I mean, it's a great start. I mean, and once again, we still continue to go on that annoying question right now. Are you okay with perfection right now for this team? I mean, Ben Roethlisberger continues to make it clear right now. According to Missi Matthews, his quote was, I said this week, we're not chasing perfection in terms 60-0. We're chasing Lombardis with a plural. So that's the most important thing for us is we just have to focus on this week and play our best 1 week at a time. And I completely 100% agree at this time. And you have to keep doing that. I mean, and what I liked about today too, I mean, the defense, I mean, for this game, when you really look at it, I mean, it was just methodical. I'm glad they did not go too heavy on the blitz pressure. I mean, in this contest, I mean, they had 7 quarterback hits. I mean, they were able to get to the quarterback, Jake Luton, or Lutton, whatever his name is, for the Jaguars. The one guy who was supposed to be starting for the Jaguars, Gardner Minshew, he was ruled out today as one of the inactives going into this contest. Don't forget, he was on the injury report all week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Gardner Minshew, the reason why he wasn't available for this game, he was dealing with a thumb injury that kept him limited in practice throughout all week. He ended up being inactive for today's game. And the Steelers, I mean, they really just embarrassed this guy, Luton, today. I really think so. And right now, I mean, he definitely just looked like a guy who just seemed to be lost. I think, earlier in the game, he was able to spread the Steelers defense out for a while and force him to drop back, play man to man, and some zone. I mean, he was able to get away with a few passes earlier in this contest. Right here, he's a 6th-round draft pick out of the University of Idaho. And this is his rookie season here. I mean, going into this contest. As we mentioned about a week ago, too, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, what they've been able to do as far as like their record versus rookie quarterbacks right now, they have now gone to 29-5, nearly 25 games over 500. They're 29-5 right now, all time. That is including the playoffs. 28-5 during the regular season. And wow, I mean, I just cannot believe what we saw here today. It was definitely devastation. And the biggest thing, too, I mean, they were able to be +3 in the turnover ratio. I mean, the only one bad play I think that Ben Roethlisberger really had today, I mean, was that pick at the end of the half right there where he threw it in the end zone. Had a nice good chunk of return, but time ran out. So they went into the halftime, I think, with a 2-touchdown lead. I want to say it was 17-3 at that point, which it was. And ever since then, the Steelers just never looked back right there. And I'm just glad to see James Conner right here, who had 13 carries for 89 yards, averaging nearly 7 yards carry, his longest being 25 yards for the day. and really did a phenomenal job. And it just goes to show you how Mike Tomlin was willing to trust his guy right here and wanting to ride with his horse. And that's where we see it right now. And I just feel right now, James Conner, he's going to give you that extra little bit of effort. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's going to be the guy that's going to want to, I mean, be that workhorse as we've seen. I mean, there's still a lot of people doubting this guy right now as far as like if he's going to be the long term fit for this organization going forward. But I mean, at times, I mean, you got to start showing some rhythm right now. Definitely be put to the test once again this Thursday night against Ravens right now going into this contest. And we'll see how this continues to work itself out. I mean, Ravens right now, they are hurting right now at 6-4, which a lot of people didn't really think we'd be seeing right now. Really, I had them as possibly like a Super Bowl team, to be honest, yeah. And you go look as far as like, I mean, the people on that defense still got very good, decent young core right now. But I mean, when you also look at it too on your defense, I mean, at this point here, I mean, you still got plenty of time to get things corrected here. But I think right now, I mean, they're just definitely. I think it's true. I mean, well, Lamar Jackson's been criticizing little by little about the play calling of the offense by the Baltimore Ravens. That teams are able to like really call out their plays and like figure them out a lot more. We got your offensive coordinator Greg Roman here, who's been the offensive coordinator for the Ravens since 2019. So this is his second year with them. Remember, he's the same guy who's also been with John Harbaugh's brother Jim when they went to Super Bowl 48. So we'll see how this continues to figure out. Like I said, I expect Thursday on Thanksgiving going to be a street fight between these two right here. And we'll see how this continues to go right now. Excuse noise right now. I just got my cell phone on me. I don't know if anyone's got Bixby app on their phones. That's my voice right there hearing me out. So sorry if any of you guys heard this on the podcast, but that's the truth of the matter. We're talking Steelers right now. Steelers once again right now, really just unloading today, and boy, looking real good. For right now, I'll probably expect them to still be shockingly number 2 in the power rankings within the NFL.com coming up this Tuesday. Simple fact that they beat a losing team today in the Jaguars, while the Chiefs got an impressive win over the Raiders, which was a slugfest. At the end of the day, the Raiders, they lose to the Chiefs in that one heartbreaking fashion. I mean, this contest, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the real deal, but I got to tell you what, Derek Carr, who's had a lot of his troubling ways. I mean, this is a guy right now who does not give up. He's also got a lot of heart on this team right here. Definitely a big-time quarterback duel in this contest. You had Patrick Mahomes complete 34 of 45 passes for 348 yards with 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Derek Carr had 23 of 71 for 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And you saw what was happening to go in there. Le'Veon Bell, he does go on to get the game-winning touchdown for the Chiefs right here. And I'll tell you what, I mean, Le'Veon Bell, I mean, definitely playing a humbling role. I mean, since joining the Chiefs right now, as we look at it, who really comes out from it. And we'll see how this goes right now, but no, excuse me, Travis Kelce, not Le'Veon Bell, so my bad. They ended up winning this game 35-31 on Sunday Night Football. The Raiders, I gotta say, they definitely had the Chiefs at their hands. They're able to lose this contest right here. And you look at the margin for error. I mean, both teams had turnover. Uh, Chiefs were just able to control the clock a little bit more. Just better third down efficiency for the Chiefs in this, or just more releasing the ball quicker by Patrick Mahomes, his footwork, and just running game, which led to a lot of it. But I want to get back to the Steelers right now. When we look at this contest here too, I mean Vince Williams too right now. I mean, this is a guy who's really playing out of his mind, I think, this year for this team. And I've never seen a performance like this by him in a while. I mean, this guy is really playing a phenomenal ball right now, leading the team with 49 total tackles up to this week. I mean, basically, and Vince Williams, I mean, a guy who's been a savvy veteran for a long while here, who hasn't really finished tops. I mean, leading the team in tackles. I mean, I think since he's been drafted, I mean, he's in his eighth season right now. And I mean, this guy right now, I'm hoping, the Steelers don't probably say goodbye to at the end of the day. I mean, with him. He still proves to be a solid foundational piece, despite not making a Pro Bowl here. Vince Williams, he's got at least one more season after this year for $4 million. This cap number will be a little over $7 million. So it's be an interesting choice to see what the Steelers are going to be making on him. If they were to cut him prior to June, they'll be saving $4 million in cap. And if it's after that, same thing. So I hope this is not the last of him. Still got one more year left on his deal. I'll be really interested to see how much the Steelers are going to make a decision as far as like on his future. If the Steelers are going to go like around over $19 million in a ditch, thanks to everything that's going on with COVID-19. And I don't want to see that happen personally, but I think at the same time too, listen, I mean, you gotta make sure everything's secure. I mean, one of the things too, I mean, Bob Papiani was talking about is how they're going to be able to lower Ben Roethlisberger's cap hit for next season. I mean, you gotta believe they're going to want to keep him around. Still playing one of the best ball of his life right now, and it just really welcome back Big Ben Roethlisberger at this time. I mean, when you check things out, and he's just really just continues to be another reason why this team doesn't go any further without him. I mean, it's number one, the defense, and then number two, him. I mean, it's just really something to watch. And like I was saying, with Vince Williams too, I mean, just a guy, another cat here who, I mean, the most he's finished was like second in tackles, was back in 2017, where the Steelers went 13-3. And I'm just looking a little bit more on this guy right now. I mean, just continues to be a solid veteran, savvy guy here. And the thing is, too, you got to appreciate about the Steelers team. And I mean, one of the things, too, about this team, too, they're truly like playing like a family, if you ask me. They're really rallying for each other, supporting one another. The character of this group right here, I mean, it's just something incredible to watch. Like I said, that was the attitude of the 72 Dolphins. It's like they didn't care who did the job. They just each wanted to just make sure they all went out and did it. That's the thing I like about that. Even like on the offensive side, I'm just so glad we don't have to worry about like hearing all this nonsensical drama. I mean, when you used to have guys like Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell or other people not getting their proper share of the touches, or we got to do like keep yourself secure for your contract. At the end of the day, it's team football at the end of the day, and this is what it is. And the Steelers continue to prove themselves right now at the higher level. And right now, Missi Matthews, I mentioned on my post here going into this, the Steelers now become the third team in the history of the Super Bowl era to enter the Thanksgiving holiday with 10+ wins. And believe it or not, the 1972 Dolphins did not make this list. They were 10-0 at the point in time when we look at it. And Thanksgiving in 1972, when you look at the Miami Dolphins here, I mean, they were 10-0 on November 19th. The Thanksgiving was November 23rd, I think, of that year. So they just missed out November 23rd, November 21st. But so that means they had to have more than 10 wins. So the 1985 Bears right now for that contest, entering the Thanksgiving holiday, they were 12-0. And then you also had the 1998 Denver Broncos. Yes, the back-to-back Denver Broncos Super Bowl champions. And they were going into Thanksgiving with a record of 11-0. And there you have it right there. So the 1985 Bears and 1998 Broncos are the only two teams right now. Steelers join that list right now, heading into Thanksgiving with a record of 10-0 for their matchup. And we'll see what happens this Thursday night. Also, too, right now, another streak that continues to go on right now is most consecutive games with one sack in NFL history. Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead that category from 1999 to 2003 with 69 games, followed by Tom Landry's doomsday defense of the Dallas Cowboys from 1976 through 1980, 68 games. Steelers are at 67 games from 2016. So let's get ready to go with my game balls on offense and defense. We get ready to close this out here. Game ball on offense for today. I'm going to go ahead and give it to James Conner for today. Led both teams with 89 yards off 13 carries, 6.8 yards per attempt. Why do I say that? Because the run game definitely needed to be picking up. It was definitely one of the things that people were getting very concerned with, and so was I. Because when you are trying to be a legit Super Bowl team, what's going to happen in situations where the pass game does get shut down? Ben Roethlisberger gets figured out, and you have to depend on the run game, and it's not showing up. You're pretty much putting extra pressure on your defense to make some plays on defense to create some scoring, or it's takeaways, or just creating short fields. And that could sometimes be a long game, and that cannot do you a lot of favors in the long run. So go ahead and give it to James Conner. Game ball and defense give you the Mika Fitzpatrick and Terrell Emmons, the dynamic duo, each having 2 picks and combining for 9 tackles. And that's going to do it for this edition here of the Mass Steel Podcast post-game show of the Steelers versus Jaguars. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Prodigy Richey, at Mass Steel CJR on Twitter, at Mass Steel Nation on Instagram. I'll catch back up with you on Tuesday, see where the power rankings are at. So I'm making little tweaks to the show. So I may just change it to Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays for right now, only because of the power rankings, which I'm keeping track of. I'll still try and do it on Mondays, but just give you a heads up, I'm just kind of flirting around with different ideas. As always, leave it. Don't be trolling, be rolling. If I don't see any of you guys tune in, once again, have a blessed and happy, safe Thanksgiving. I'm out here.
Hey, you blink, I'll cut your eyelids off. Don't you blink. I got you. Let's go.